All right, so everybody, welcome to Exo Solaria Union. So this is a new YouTube channel that I've created. My name is Brian Doan, and I have always been fascinated by UFOs, aliens, UAP, as they now call it. So I've really been wanting to start this YouTube channel for a while. I have also launched a website, exosolaria.com, where I can share my research and my thoughts and the data that I have on this important topic. I'm just a regular guy. I'm in my mid-40s, father of 3 kids, married. My whole life I've been interested in astronomy. I'm an amateur astronomer. Always had a fascination of, looking up at the stars and just wondering, what planets were out there. My aunt was a school teacher and she used to talk about space all the time. So from an early age, I learned all the planets in our solar system, and I've just always wondered, looking up into the night sky, what's out there. As a kid, I, loved watching sci-fi movies, and I still do. But I watched like E.T., scared the crap out of me. But I loved it, but it really opened the possibilities of what might be out there for me. When I was 12, I read Whitley Strieber's book Communion about his abduction experiences. And those were really scary for me to read about. I was always looking over my shoulder, and at night I was scared to go to bed thinking that I was going to get abducted by aliens. And, but it really got my eyes open to the possibility that, what if it is real, and what if it's not, So I've always had this driving force behind me to find out, 100%, is this true or is it not? That being said, I'm a very data-driven person, so I like to follow wherever the data leads, Obviously, it'd be really awesome if we had aliens here on Earth visiting us in exotic spacecraft. That would just be fantastic. And so I'm going to be doing research to, try to determine is that actually the case? What does our government know? What about, crash retrievals of UFOs? Is that a real thing? So all those things I'm going to be delving into. Also, I just wanted to kind of go through my website here so you can, see what I'm going to be researching. So just to scroll down here, so I do have a membership. It's going to be a membership website, but it has a lot of free information as well. So if you decide you want to join, you can. So that'll help support me in my research. I would like to do this full time, so that would help out. You can also donate if you decide you wanted to do that to support. But going down here, so these are going to be the areas I'm going to be focusing on with my research. So UFO, UAP sightings. So these are, simply sightings of lights, of craft, things of that nature that people are reporting. So I'm going to delve into that. UAP, UFO crash retrievals. So I'm going to document specific instances of, alleged retrievals that the U.S. government has made and other governments as well of crash UFOs and, alien bodies. So we'll discuss that. UFO, UAP technology. So I want to know what makes these things tick. Lou Elizondo has talked about the 5 observables, so we're going to delve into that and other things. Bob Lazar has mentioned several things about how UAPs might work, so we'll delve into that and figure out, are these things possible? How would they work? Things of that nature. In addition to that, we need to make sure we're holistic in our approach to UFOs and UAPs. So obviously, alien abduction is going to be one of those things. So we're going to explore that. So I also have a section on that and the sighting section where you can submit your experiences. So I encourage you to do that so that we can work together to explore that and to share that with other people so they can explore that in their research as well. But going back to the alien abductions, Whitley Strieber is a famous case, Betty and Barney Hill, Travis Walton, among others. So we're really going to dive into those experiences. And along with that, I'm going to be putting together what I call like a truth rating to, in my opinion, how truthful I think certain people are with their experiences. So that way you as my audience, my community can have that. Obviously, whatever my opinion is not the end all and be all of opinions. It's just my opinion. I encourage you to use your critical thinking skills and to come up with your own opinion, based on the data and the research. But this just will kind of give you a framework, to work within. So beyond that, we'll be talking about UAP whistleblowers and, witnesses. So we've had a lot of whistleblowers coming forward lately that have, various pieces of information that they're revealing. So we'll discuss that as well as actual witnesses as well. So we want to go into that deeply and document everything that they're saying and then cross-examine all of that against everything else that we allegedly know. Okay. Beyond that, we'll be talking about, different UAP researchers that are in the field or that, have been. So Stanton Friedman was an amazing researcher, so that's one example. And, among others, I'm a brand new UAP researcher, even though I've been really interested in UFOs for a long time. I'm now getting very serious about delving into the research to actually document, what might be true, what's not, all that kind of stuff. In addition to that, I am going to be putting in freedom of information requests to the U.S. government to get documents that don't appear online or we don't have any source material for. I really want to get, to the nuts and the bolts and the meat of what we can actually document when it comes to UFOs and UAPs and aliens. Because, it's a big deal, we know that the U.S. government told us that UFOs are real, but what are they? UAP are real, but what are they? Are aliens actually here? Have we made contact with alien beings? Maybe. I hope so. That would be really cool. But we need to document things. We need to be able to get the proof and the evidence for that, because these are life and world altering things, right? So that being said, moving on, I'm also going to talk about different UFO journalists that are out there. I'm sure you guys have heard of Ross Coulthart. He is one that I follow a lot. He's done a lot of research. Nick Pope and others. There's several others that are amazing journalists. George Knapp obviously is one of those too. So we're going to be talking about these journalists, what they've documented, how they're getting their information, but also how we can support them in their roles as well. Okay, it's a lot of information, I know. Moving on, there's also been allegations that there's alien bases on Earth. Kind of a wild claim, but we're going to also delve into that. We're going to figure out, is that accurate? Where's the information coming from? How can we verify that? Those things too. In addition to that, we're going to be talking about the program, the legacy program or the secret program that is being run inside U.S. in the U.S. government and also defense contractors, and most likely in other countries as well. So we're going to really dive into that, figure out who these people are. I know that Mr. Gaffney was one that was named recently, so we need to probe that, find out, is that true? Is he really a gatekeeper? And then just find out, who, maybe the CIA is working on this, and obviously with defense contractors having some of this material. Maybe there's stuff S4, Dugway Proving Grounds in Utah. So we really just got to dive into that and document what we can about whether or not this program is real. It appears to be. Lou Elizondo has made a lot of, claims about this, among others, Chris Millen, Tim Gallaudet, people of that caliber. So we really got to look at what they're saying, and use critical thinking skills, to try to figure this out. Moving on from there, we want to also dive into UFO disclosure. So if this program is real, if there's actual UFO craft and alien bodies, okay, that are actually here, and this program knows about them, they must disclose it. The world has a right to know. Obviously, there are national security implications, and so with that in mind, we have to be obviously careful in how we're doing that. But at the end of the day, that needs to be addressed. And then beyond that, if we're able to achieve full disclosure, what does that mean for the world? What does post-disclosure look like? That's going to be something that is very important to all of us, to you, to me. How is that going to affect you, knowing that aliens are real? For me, it would be a huge paradigm shift. It would change my whole world. So we really need to discuss that and how human society is going to cope with that, right? So now, all that being said, going back to the fact that I'm an amateur astronomer, I have been researching exoplanets for years, stars, everything in astronomy. I mean, galaxies, dark matter, the Big Bang, everything. So, string theory, I mean, all these kinds of things I've been staying up on. So I want to take what limited expertise I have being an amateur in this, and using the planet and star database that I have constructed from the data that NASA has provided, a detailed list of exoplanets within their star systems to try to identify which planets and systems might actually harbor real aliens, right? We know that we've had people that have made claims about where aliens might be from. Zeta Reticuli is one of those. Zeta Reticuli is a binary star system that has two sun-like stars, G-class stars. However, no exoplanets have been confirmed to date in that system. Not to say that they won't, because this technology is always improving. There's a lot more that's out there to discover. So we may actually discover a planet that's possibly habitable in that system. That just hasn't happened yet. So those are the things we need to look at. In addition to that, there's another system that is roughly 15.3 light years away from us, that has been talked about as a possible home for the Greys, Zeta Reticuli, also for the Greys. So we really need to find out, is it possible? Okay, so we're going to be going through that. So I have a whole database full of a visual representation of stars and their associated planets with their data. I have also created my own classifications of exoplanets, to help us quantify which ones are habitable versus those that are not. Obviously, there's a lot of data that we don't have about their atmospheres. A lot of them, their mass, their density, their actual temperatures, things like that. So there's a lot of different variables that go into making a planet habitable, which I will share with you in that database as well. Moving on from there, I have also made a list of Earth-like planets. These are candidate planets that might have alien life on them based on several criteria. So they are the most Earth-like planets or exoplanets that have been found to date that we can look at closely to see if they might harbor alien life. Okay. In addition to that, I also will be discussing the alleged alien species that have been purported in the UFO community to exist. So there's roughly 5, overall species that have been said to exist. The grays obviously are the most common and significant ones. There is the Nordic people, or the Plagiarans, as some call them, that look somewhat human. There's the mantis people, or mantid people, that look like praying mantises. There's the Dracos that look like, reptiles. And there's another one I don't remember right off the top of my head right now, but these specific alien species, I have documented what their characteristics are based upon what's been reported, and we want to delve into that to find out, is that true, is that accurate, and then get a really good picture of what these alien races are like. And also figure out what their intentions are. Are they hostile? Are they benevolent? Are they indifferent? What are their agendas? So we'll dive into that. So beyond that, so on the website, it's got an about section. Talks about the Exo Solaria Union that I created. It's an actual company. It's an LLC. So I'm extremely serious about finding the truth. I really want to know the truth, whatever it is. I'm open to it. I don't have any preconceived notions, but I have a very open mind, and I will follow it wherever the data leads. Okay, so I invite you to do the same. Okay, we are trying to get rid of this stigma about UFOs and aliens. This is something that has been started to be chipped at the last few years. 2017 was a big year, obviously, with the revelation of UFOs are real. Those 3 videos that Lou Elizondo was able to release to the public. So we really just need to be open-minded about what the possibilities are. So again, I'm very committed to that, and I invite you to do the same and to join our community. You can click on this join link right here, and you can join. It's $9.99 a month for the membership. There are several benefits that you can read through for that. So I'd appreciate that if you want to join. Obviously, that's totally up to you. So. There's a UAP section here. This kind of echoes what's on the home page. There was one more thing here at the very bottom of the UAP page. It's called Joining the Galaxy, where I will be discussing, what it's going to be like to join the galaxy. We've been told that there's a galactic federation, like in Star Trek, where, if humans have evolved to a certain level that we can actually join this. We're going to find out, is that real? We're going to look into that. I mean, it's a great ideal. That would be awesome if it actually exists, but it may not. It may just be alien factions, having their own agendas and just doing what they do. So we're going to, dive into that possibility. There is a YouTube video here from the show Star Trek Enterprise. I love that show. I love all the Star Treks, all the Star Wars too. But anyways, Jonathan Archer gives a really good speech that you should definitely watch about the future possibility of humanity as we, embark on this journey of discovery, around us. So, in addition to that, I have a map of the galaxy. It's just like a general map, but it gives us the location of the sun, where we are in the galaxy. There's a central black hole in the middle of the galaxy, and then estimated data about our galaxy. So how many stars we think there are, how many actual planets, of those planets, how many are Earth-like, and out of those Earth-like planets, how many have alien civilizations. So these are only estimates. We will, obviously we'll update this as more exoplanets are discovered and more data is gathered on star systems. So that's obviously an ongoing thing. But just statistically, it is now estimated that there could be 100 million alien civilizations just in our galaxy alone. Maybe more. So we'll look at that. But statistically, the chances of us being alone are basically zero. So just the vast amount of stars and planets that are in our galaxy and then in every other galaxy in the universe, there's no way we are alone. It's just, if we were, that would be insanely scary. But we're most likely not. All right, so moving on. So we have our stars and planets database here. We have different planetary classes that I have created, and then star classes that astronomers have already created to classify stars. So again, like our sun, it's a G-class star, which is kind of a mid-range star. But you can go through that. If we go to the Star and Planet database, this will give you a range of star systems that you can explore. So different ranges of light years you can look at. So our star system is Sol. It tells you how many stars there are, how many planets, how many habitable planets, so on and so forth. And then you can click on Explore, and then it's going to bring up another page here that gives you a visual representation of the star and the planets that have been discovered in that system. We can go back, and then we'll go to this Proxima Centauri here. Proxima Centauri is 4.2 light years away, but there is a possibility that Proxima 1, possibly Proxima 2, could have alien life, but we'll need to look at that. So I'm going to have a detailed page here where we explore all that data. This particular system, the Proxima star, is a very extreme star. It's a red M dwarf star, but it has very extreme solar flares. Okay. So that means that it could have stripped the atmosphere off of all these planets, so they may not be, habitable. But again, we don't know until we actually discover, do they actually have an atmosphere? And if they do, what does that atmosphere look like? Okay. That being said, as we're going through all that, we need to be open about different types of alien life. We're used to living in an oxygen, nitrogen environment, that we can easily breathe, but there could be other alien species out there that don't breathe oxygen, that don't breathe nitrogen. It could be totally different. So we really got to keep an open mind as we explore these planets about the possibilities that may exist for life, and not just write it off because it doesn't, jive with what we believe life should look like. Okay. Moving on, we have Earth-like planets. So this is the list of planets that I have gleaned from the data that NASA has provided. So I've detailed, if they're, what size they are, what temperature they may be, their mass, diameter, things of that nature. We have generated images about what they might look like. Obviously, these are just representations. We don't really know what they look like. Excuse me, but it gives you an idea of what they might. Okay. Going to the alien species, here we go through those. So that just gives you more information about the alien species, whether or not they've been confirmed to exist. The only one that's been confirmed is us, is humans. The other ones have not, obviously. Beyond that, I've got a blog that I've created. So on the blog, you can just obviously follow my blog and read the blog posts. You can comment on that, which I encourage you to comment. The last one I did, there's a claim that was made by David Grush that the United States acquired a partially intact UAP craft during or right after World War II that crashed in 1933 in Magenta, Italy. So there's not a lot of documentation on that or source material. So I did make a Freedom of Information request to the CIA to get any documents, pictures, video, whatever they might have on this incident. So that's just an example, of a blog post that I've done, talk about the congressional hearings that have happened lately, just everything like that. Moving on real quick, we have a contact section here, so you can contact me, whatever questions you have. I also have a little shop here with merchandise that you can purchase if you would like to help support. Totally up to you. But we have shirts, bags, mugs, mouse pads, all this kind of stuff. So you're welcome to do that if you decide to. The shirt that I'm wearing right now is one that I bought off of my own website, exosolaria.com. So these shirts they're really nice, so really soft. So anyway, that's available. So that being said, again, I'm new to this research, but I really am committed to it. I really want to build up this community. I want you guys to be with me on this. I want you to be able to share your thoughts, your insights, bring your own research into it, and I want you to be involved. And then together, we can, help find the truth. We also need to be, respectful of other researchers, those that are on YouTube, those that are not on YouTube, and do our best to collaborate with them because we're all, in this together and trying to find the truth together. So, I'm really excited about this. I really want to dig down and get into the mud, and find the truth. We all deserve that. And, me as a regular citizen, I'm going to do my best to do that, I'm nobody special, but, I am passionate about what I'm doing, and I hope you are too. I hope that you have the same drive that I do, to discover the truth, and to want to be a part of this, if it turns out that this is real and that, aliens are really here, what are we going to do about it? I want you to think about that. So that's all I have right now. I'll be doing a lot of videos in the future, obviously, and updating my website. So again, I invite you to go to exosolariaunion.com, join us, and lend your support, and let's get into this. Let's make this happen. On my YouTube channel, I really appreciate your support. If you would mind subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. If you like the videos, give a thumbs up, like the video, and then also make sure you hit the notification bell on those videos to get notified of new videos when I do those. But I'm excited for this. I'm excited to have you along with me, and I hope that we can discover some really interesting things. Thank you for your time, and I will talk to you later.